are continuing with the video series dealing with leaf modifications. The previous video we looked at tendrils, and here we are looking at the modifications where leaf or leaf parts get converted to spines and hooks. Basically, before going into the details, what's the use for such a thing? What is it meant for? And as far as that is concerned, there are two important points. So it's spines and hooks. Naturally, it's a kind of a protective functionality. That's one sense. If there are a lot of animals which feed on this plant parts, naturally this kind of hooks and spines would be a great method to prevent them from something like foraging or overeating the plant parts. And there's also a kind of a more important physiological aspect, that is to prevent excessive transpiration, in the sense that prevent excessive water loss. So loss of water, spines and hooks, as the membranes, as the tissue is quite tough, membranous, will prevent excessive loss of water due to sunlight. Now let's look at the interesting cases where leaf modifications, leaves are being converted to spines and hooks, and the examples are quite like based on specific plant cases. So we are starting with barberry. Barberry is a case where the leaves of the main stem, those leaves are modified into branched 3 to 5 arid spines. So note the point that you have the leaves, but there are, along with the leaves, some of the leaves are modified into 3 or up to 5 arid spines. And there's a second interesting development, that dwarf branches also develop in the axils. So barberry, basically we are dealing with a case where some leaves of the main stem, not the point, it's not like all the leaves are being converted to spines. Some leaves of the main stem gets modified into spines, and usually the number ranges from 3 to 5. And from the diagram itself, we can easily see that the spines are coming out from that bunch portion, but from that portion where the leaves are crowding together. So that's a case with barberry. And as I had told in many previous videos, this kind of plant morphological developments, it's best to understand by linking the particular example with the related modification. So once again, reiterating, barberry, here we have the leaves, and they are the leaves of the condensed axillary shoot, and of course we have the spines coming up. So that's about this particular, the first case dealing with leaves developing into spines. Going on to the second case, the second case is something like the leaves are modified to spines. So not the point, the first case when some leaves were getting modified to spines, here leaves itself, the structure of the plant, which is the morphological structure of the plant, which is the leaf itself, is converted to spines. And naturally you can get an idea that such a drastic modification would be necessary for plants which are growing in arid or desert regions, and that's the case with this specific example. So most of the cacti, for example Opuntia, the leaf gets modified to spines. And another interesting example is asparagus. So as I mentioned at in the beginning of this video, this is a modification not just for protection, because such plants are growing in desert regions, and of course desert regions means a lot of sunlight, which obviously translates a lot of heat, which means that there are chance of excessive water loss due to transpiration. And so such a modification of leaves into spines is basically meant to prevent transpiration. Going on to the third case, where we have the stipules of the leaf getting converted to spines. So we know what a stipule is. That's a lateral growth from the base of the leaf, basically meant to protect the developing leaf tissue. So when such stipules get converted to spiny structures, that's the case which we are discussing. That's the third case we are discussing here. And two notable examples are Sisyphus and Acacia. So nothing more to discuss here. The stipules are getting converted, which basically means that the petiole, the leaf, the lamina, the leaf blade, all the other parts are there. So note the point, it's the stipules, that lateral growths from the base of the leaf, which is getting converted to spines. So that's why it's called stipular spines. And we have a diagram coming up of Sisyphus, and you can see that you have a well-developed leaf, no modification as well as the main leaf structure and the petiole is concerned. It's the stipules which are getting converted to spine-like structures. So the diagram here is dealing with Sisyphus. So that's about this particular third case, where we are dealing with the examples of leaf modifications related to spines and hooks. Going on to another interesting case is dealing with leaflets, and we know what a leaflet is. Leaflet is the development of the leaf-like structures or leaves, actually not on the petiole but on the other axis, that is secondary, tertiary axis. Those leaves which developing on that kind of axis is what is called leaflets. And interestingly, this particular modification is characteristic of a specific case, that is not the point, not the wording Doxantha unguis, and this cati, C-A-T-I, has a very interesting meaning, in the sense that we'll just know why that cati is coming up. So Bignonia Doxantha unguis is the example where the leaflets have been converted to hooks. So what exactly has happened here? The terminal leaflets of the compound leaves has been transformed, has developed into three stiff claw-like curved hooks. Basically, so it's something like looking like a part of an animal, and that animal, of course, is the cat. So note the point, it resembles the nails of a cat, and that's why in the botanical name of the particular plant we are having that cati, C-A-T-I, coming up. So now let's have a look at the diagram of this particular case, and you can see that you have the leaflet hooks which are coming up on the petiola part. So it's from the petiola part, that's a part which connects the leaves to the stem. So it's coming up independently, and on the tip of that you have three stiff claw-like hooks which are curved. So now the number is 3, and once again remember the point how in the botanical name, the cat has come up because this development looks like the nails of a cat. So that's very interesting, and it's also in a manner useful for us to remember this particular leaf modification. So that's about leaflet hooks, and as far as modifications related to spines and hooks are concerned, this much is there to be studied. And looking at the next video, we'll be having a detailed discussion on a very important, in fact it has been asked so many times in the NEET examination, that is fill load. And we'll be looking at what a fill load is, and also we'll be looking at what are the differences between fill load and filloclad. So these two words are quite rhyming. It seems they are quite similar, but there are some very important characteristic differences. So we'll be looking at the differences between fill load and filloclad in the next video. So thanks for watching this video, and if you feel the video is good and useful for you, do kindly like, share and subscribe to our channel. Thanks.